Hello, everybody. I'm going to have a crack at deploying a Quasar application to Netlify. I've done this before, but I thought I'd try and stream it and see if I can build something concise that people can watch and learn from. And then maybe down the line I'll build something that's a little bit cleaner. But hey, let's just have a crack at it and see what happens. So the first thing I'm going to do is jump into GitHub, and I'm going to create a new project. No template, and how about we call this Quasar Netlify, and I might even add in their SPA just in case I want to deploy it in different ways in the future. So Quasar Netlify SPA, and we'll say here deploying a Quasar project to Netlify. I'll make this public so all of you can see it if you'd like, and let's go ahead and create that repository. Now, while that's happening, and I'm going to jump up here. I might have to zoom in a little bit so you guys can all see. And let's say Quasar create, and we'll say deploy-netlify. And how about we go to the next branch? I've never actually tested this on the next branch, so let's cross our fingers and hope that this is going to work. Just going to leave all of this as default. Yeah, that's all fine. Standard, use yarn. There we go. Let's let that run. So I'll come back here. This is the code that I'm going to use to push it. So basically, I'll do a git init, git add dot, git blah, 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 blah. So let me just copy that. And then once we're done, we can then use this to push our repository. Yeah, so that's going to take a second or two. What can I do in the meantime? I could sing you a song, but I'm not going to. What did we call this? We called it deploy Netlify. So cd deploy dash Netlify. Open that in Visual Studio Code. Now, last time I did a video, I forgot to zoom in here. So let's go full screen there. Make sure I zoom in this time. I think that should be big enough. So let's just say Quasar dev to check if that's working. And while that's happening, I'll say git add. We'll have to say git init to initialize this as a Git project. Git add dot git commit message, and I'll call this init. Set me back. Initial commit. And there we go. So it looks like that's done. And now, basically, after you've initialized the project, you can just copy this here and then paste it in. And then what that's going to do is push that to GitHub. And I'm going to assume that you've already got GitHub set up on your computer. And if I refresh the page now, then there we go. We've got our project sitting on GitHub. In fact, that's probably all we have to do. Now I can jump into Netlify. And once again, I'm going to make an assumption here. And that assumption is that you have already got Netlify up and running. And you've got it connected to your GitHub account. I'm pretty sure you actually need to do that. So let's go over to sites here. We'll go to new site from GitHub. It's probably going to ask me to log in. There we go. So that's how it does it. Search for repos. And what did I just call this? Quasar-Netlify. Quasar-Netlify. Let's start with that. What are we going to get? There it is there. Quasar Netlify SPA. Is this the master branch? I believe it's called master. Yep, there we go. Basic build settings. So we're going to say Quasar build. And the publish directory is dist. Oh my gosh, it looks like it's already guessed all of that for us. Dist/SPA. Because if we come in here and run Quasar build, I'm pretty sure we get a dist folder, and then nested in that we get SPA. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I can just leave that literally as is and click on deploy site. Holy cow, that was so ridiculously simple. If it works. So remember, they said dist/SPA, so that's done building. And if we jump in here and say dist SPA, yeah, so basically it's going to serve up that directory as a static website when this is done. Okay, this has failed. It's okay. Let's have a look at what that error is. Successfully installed yarn. No yarn, what? Yeah, that makes sense. The engine node is incompatible with this module. Okay, so I wonder if we can set a different node version here, because I know that the new version of Quasar, well, it's not actually Quasar, I think it might actually be Webpack, and some other things it uses behind the scenes was having trouble dealing with node. So what I want to do, the engine node is incompatible with this module. Right, so I want to be able to tell Netlify what version of Node I want to use. Let's see if we can do that. Netlify, different version of Node. Manage build dependencies, specifying a Node version. There we go, so let's jump into that. Thanks for... Set of node version is .node version file, or here we go. So I can say node version here. So let's come back here, and we want to set an environment variable that says the node version has to be greater than 12.22.1. So let's remember that, 12.22.1. We'll go into deploy settings, environment, edit environment variables, node version, 12.22.1. I might even just set it exactly as that. So let's save that and then try deploying this again and see if it works. How do I do that? I think this is where I do it. Site deploy failed. Can I jump in there and try again? Here we go. Let's try clearing the cache and deploying the site, just in case we need to do that, in case it's like cache node or something like that. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee while this runs. That is a good cup of joe. So give that a second to run, and hopefully it's going to pick up the new node version and it will work properly this time. I think this is installing, this is around about the time that it stuffed up last time. So if this doesn't work, I'll probably stop the stream, figure it out, and then do another stream later on so that we end up with a more concise video. So let's cross our fingers and hopefully this will work out for us. I think it actually is working. What can I do in the meantime? We can do an update when this is done. So let's go to index and then just have like a div in here, or maybe a H2 that says woohoo, it works. H1, we'll make it super big. Woohoo, it works. And let's jump back in here. Nice, it is building, and I reckon that's going to work. Site is now live. So now if I jump on preview here, and there we go. We are on the web. And if you want, you can set up your own domain. They've got all that sort of stuff in Netlify, but it kind of goes beyond the scope of what I wanted to show you here. And I think if I go back to deploys, here we go. This is our site here. So now I have my own Netlify site. And if you wanted, you could name that something differently as well. I can't remember how you do that, but there's a way that you can change your subdomain here. So it's like mydomain.netlify.app or whatever. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this one. That is how you deploy a Quasar application to Netlify. See you in the next stream.